Good morning everyone, welcome back to the Nature Patch. I have a nice warm cup of coffee today, which is definitely needed. You probably know the drill by now. It's another very dreary day here on the south coast of New South Wales, so a coffee and inside time is definitely needed today. And I thought I may as well just sit down and answer a few questions that I have been getting quite a lot lately on some of my YouTube videos. And I also asked a few weeks ago on Instagram if you had any questions for me. So I thought I would kind of do like a little bit more of a chill, sit down, chatty Q&A vlog that is kind of a little bit more of a podcast style. So if you have any housework to do or garden chores, this might be something that you can put on and listen to while you are doing that. I know that I really enjoy just listening to podcasts and YouTube videos while I get up to that kind of thing. So I have a few questions that I'll run through. I have some on my phone and I also have some cats around me, so ignore any cat chaos that you may see. One is kind of starting to fall asleep, which is good. The other was going a little bit crazy, but that is totally okay. But I will link as much as I can in the description box of linking to different videos for different resources or links to things that I'm talking about to keep it all fairly relevant for you all. I also just wanted to say a really quick thank you to everyone. We have reached 5,000 subscribers on this channel, which completely blows my mind. Scott and I have been working so hard on these videos to produce content for you all about gardening and connecting to nature and slow living, and it just makes me so happy that people like watching the videos and that the channel is growing. So that is something I wanted to start out with, is just say a massive thank you. And I will be doing a live probably in the next few weeks to celebrate for that. I'm a little bit busy over the next few weeks with work, but I will fit in a live where we can all sit down and have a chat. So look out for notifications on that one. I might even get Scott to join in as well, because yeah, he does help out so much with these videos. He's editing this video right now for me, so I am really thankful for everything he does as well. Right, so I haven't really looked at a lot of these questions, which I probably should have before this video, but I'm just going to get straight into it. So the first question is from K Greenfingers from Instagram, and they ask, what is your 1 year and 10-year garden goals? Which is a great question because I love talking about dreams and what the garden is going to look like. In 1 year, I would love to have our, don't know how much I want to say yet. I will say in the live what we're doing, but in 1 year I would love to have our farm kind of business set up. We are starting a micro backyard farm. What we're going to be farming, I'm not going to say just yet, but you probably will have seen in some of my videos what that might be. So if you have an idea, let me know in the comments section down below. But it is something that is beautiful and brings a lot of joy to people. So yeah, in 1 year we would love to have that started, and I'd love to have the weeds controlled in the garden. I think is the main thing. We're just dealing with quite a lot of weeds in a lot of the garden beds, and that has been taking so much time because of all of the rain to weed and get those sorted. But I think I would really like to be on top of the weeds in the garden in 1 year, and also have our micro backyard farm set up, and also be doing starting our sales and our markets that we will be doing. And I am so excited to share all of that, so keep an eye out for what all of that is about. And then 10 years, well, I'd love to be owning our own property, owning a nice bigger property in the country, and again be having some kind of farming operation where Scott and I are both working from home, earning a full-time income from whatever we produce in our backyard. Whether that be teaching people how to grow food and flowers, whether that be kind of some Airbnb or learning centre, something where we can be teaching people how to grow things, which I'm sure will happen in 10 years. I'm being very optimistic about it, and yeah, I'm super excited for the future to be able to buy our own piece of land and fulfill our little garden dream. The next one is from Nora, who asks, I would love for you to talk about how you see your gardening and work as connected. So for people who don't know, I am an environmental scientist and I work in Indigenous communities looking at how we can reduce the impact of mining on communities and how to reduce the impact that mining can have on impacting traditional knowledge and traditional ways of living in Indigenous communities. So a lot of that is done up in Western Cape York, where there is really, really large scale bauxite mines. And I wouldn't be able to do that kind of work without the garden. The garden is where I ground myself, quite literally, and is something that I have needed to do for that kind of work. It is extremely emotionally draining working in the mining industry, and also just seeing a lot of the damage that occurs in mining environments. Yeah, it can be very emotionally draining, and without having something that is happy and joyful and productive, I suppose, seeing life again, yeah, I think I don't know how mentally well I would be. So I hope that answers your question about how I see them connected, because a part of my PhD was also understanding people's connections to nature and how to maintain that while chaos is ensued around them, really, to preserve traditional knowledge and traditional ways of things. And I find when I am connected and grounded to nature, I suppose, I can understand those other connections a lot more. And I like to connect to nature, in my backyard and going on walks and things like that. So it's really been a tool that has helped me focus again and have that little bit more of an optimistic outlook on things, which I'm really thankful for the garden for that. So another question was, do you still travel away for work? And the answer is yes, I still do some travel, traveling fairly soon for a really big meeting, which is exciting. And I'm hoping that towards the end of the year, I will be able to do a lot more travel up to Western Cape York, and I might even be able to do a little bit of filming and show you what a day in the life of an environmental scientist is on mine sites. We'll see actually about that, but I'm sure I'll be able to share a little bit about what I do. Another question from Diane and Samson was, how are you settling into your new area? Did you know many others before you moved down, and has it been challenging meeting new people? Which is the age-old question, how do you make friends as an adult? So we are settling in really, really well to this area. I absolutely love the south coast of New South Wales. I have just such a deep connection to this landscape and the trees and the animals and everything. So I just feel like it's home to me because I did travel here every year. Scott's also really settling in well. In terms of, have we met a lot of people? A few people, and I mean, we know like our neighbours and things like that, who I would, we're friendly with, but friends, I suppose, is a little bit harder to make, other than the few people that we've met online. Obviously, Diane and Samson, we did go down and visit them, which was really great, but it's just been so wet and rainy that it's been hard to go out and do activities that I'm going to meet people that have the same or similar interests. So I'd love to do some kind of like bushwalking groups or the community garden, but it's just been so wet and rainy. So I'm hoping that we meet quite a few more people down here, and I'm hoping that with our new business venture and starting up a market stall that we will meet quite a lot of people, because to answer the other part of the question, we knew absolutely no one when we came down here, which was a little bit daunting, but exciting nonetheless. So Andrew on YouTube asks, whilst trying to maintain an organic garden, how would you handle problems with weeds in the lawn, like bindies or other kind of spiky weeds, I'm assuming? Not too worried about clover or dandelions, but the more spiky weeds, which is something that I'm sorry that you're dealing with that. We don't have too many in our backyard right now. With organic gardening, it's really tricky to be put into a situation where you have a really large weed infestation. And sometimes using a spray, as much as I definitely don't like using them, is one of the only options if you have a really large area to deal with. In the end, if it's a weed of national significance or an environmental weed, the better thing to do is actually eradicating it rather than it spreading, and making sure that you get every single one of those little bindies is important, and therefore you might need to use spray. But if you only have a few little ones around the garden, it's something you can definitely just use organic methods. You could put cardboard over them and just smother them out. You could even like plant a tree over it. Or if you want to keep the lawn intact, there are a few kind of more organic sprays that you can use. Or another thing you can do is just pour boiling water onto those weeds. Doing that a few times throughout the day will kill that plant, and that's a really great organic way to kill kind of the bindies and the nasty weeds, and that's probably what I would recommend. Some of the other questions that I get asked a lot are around bush foods and what bush foods I have planted in the garden right now. And that is something that I am definitely lacking in, and I'm very much aware about that. If you are interested in bush foods, Diane and Samson have an amazing food forest that they've created with a lot of Australian native plants. So definitely make sure to go check out that video if you're interested. Me personally, I have a few, like I have some native violets, which you can consume them. I think they're actually used to kind of help with arthritis, but I am planting a few other things, like I've got some leptospermums which you can make tea out of, some flax lilies, and I would love some more bushes and plants to fill the backyard with some bush food species, because there are some amazing ones around here. So it's something that I'm getting there, and I'll definitely do videos as I buy them and tell you what they are. Another question I get a lot is because I did a video about composting cat waste and cat litter, and I get a lot of comments whenever I include some cat litter or talking about cat waste, and I just wanted to clear up a few rumours around that. So our cats are indoor cats. We keep them inside, but we do take them out for a little bit for their little run around in the afternoon. So they do everything inside, and we compost their waste in the worm farm, and then their kitty litter goes out around different trees. And I personally do not use any of the waste that comes out of the worm farm, the worm castings or the kitty litter, around anything that is edible, because they are carnivorous animals, and they can contain certain bacterias. Because our cats are actually indoor cats, they're probably not going to contain the whatever it is, toxoplasmosis, that everyone is super scared about. Cats need to eat raw meat that also has that strain of bacteria to then have that disease. So it's highly unlikely that our cats have it, but it is something that I'm definitely very careful about. But I also just want to remind people that if you have a garden outside, you're going to have lots of native animals around, and we have things like bandicoots. Unfortunately, there are feral cats around as well. There are rabbits. There are so many other different animals that are going to likely do their business in the garden. So while I am super aware that cats can be a bit nasty with their waste, I just wanted to clear it up that we do take care of everything, but I think it is much better to be responsible for your pet's waste rather than just throwing it into landfill. So that's why we do like to compost our cat waste. And another question that I get asked, not really like it's a question, being on YouTube, you get people that don't quite understand your videos or get a little bit angry sometimes. It's just the way that the internet works, unfortunately. And sometimes when I do a video all about no dig or no dig gardening, somehow it picks up some of these people, and I would just hate for someone to read comments and get a different idea in their head about what I've said in a video. So I just wanted to clear a little bit up about the no dig method, and just say that while it's something that I do, it's not something that I'm going to be doing in the whole of my backyard, and it's a style of gardening that I personally like and I personally just enjoy doing, but it's not for everyone. And I just want to remind people that choosing the garden style that works for you is the most important thing, because the main thing that you're doing is gardening. you're having a garden, you're planting things, you're growing your own food or flowers or creating habitat. And that's the main thing with this. How you do it and the garden style that you do it is completely up to you, because everyone, even the next door neighbors to you, are going to have a different microclimate and slightly different soils. So yeah, while I do talk about no dig a lot, I do get a few people really concerned that it unfortunately isn't working for them, or that they have had no success, and that's perfectly fine. Failure is such a big part of gardening and is something that you need to expect, and trying out different things is super important. So I'm always willing to help out if you have problems with it, but just again remember that trying out different ways of gardening is super important, and relying on one like the no-dig method and then you're not getting results from it, don't worry about it, just try a different method. I also get a question a lot where I get my seed raising trays from, so I will include that in the description box of the link of where I get that from. But I am actually after some new ones, so if you have any good recommendations for large seed raising trays, definitely let me know, because I would love to find some that the plastic is a little bit more soft. So definitely let me know, because I do get a lot of questions about where I get things from. But I also have questions for you, so let me know if you do have any larger scale seed raising trays. Another question is, what am I planting right now? And I have a few videos for each of the different months on what I like to plant, so hopefully I'll put them all into a playlist and you can have a look at that. But for those interested right now who live like in Sydney or South Coast New South Wales, you can definitely still get a lot of your brassicas in. This is also for subtropics as well. You can get your broccolis, cauliflower, cabbage, lettuce, onions, potatoes, particularly if in the subtropics. There are so many different plants that you can plant right now. And another way I like to approach this is just asking people, what do you want to plant right now? And then have a look at whether it's the appropriate time or not. It's a really great option if you are a beginner gardener, just having a look at what you really want right now or what you're craving. And it might be seasonal, and then you can figure out whether you can grow it. And then the last question that I will cover today is, what are my favorite YouTubers that I am watching? I always love to share some great creators that I'm watching, and I have shared quite a few in a lot of my previous videos and linked a few, but the kind of new ones that I would like to bring your attention to, just because if I think you're watching my videos, you might enjoy watching these channels. The first one is Noble Flowers. Phaedra and Maura and I have a flower farm in Victoria, and their content is just amazing. She is just so real, which I just really appreciate in videos, and just seeing what day-to-day life is like on a farm. I've really been loving her content, and I just think they're doing such a great job doing a small scale farm, and they have kids and they're just creating such a beautiful life, which I'm definitely in awe of what they're doing, and I think you'll really enjoy their videos. Another channel that I've been really liking is Katsiarina Terahova. I think I'm pronouncing that okay. Her and her family have a beautiful plot of land in Belarus, and it's a really small town in Belarus, and with everything going on in Eastern Europe, I just think she just brings so much light to not even just that situation, but just the world. Just her content is so beautiful, how she connects to nature and grows her own food, and her videos are just so beautiful and calming. So definitely make sure to check them out. And another one, if you are wanting a little bit more relaxing, beautiful content, Kylie Flavel is one of my favorite YouTubers, and she has such beautiful content about her a beautiful house in Tuscany in Italy, and her partner just, they're just such lovely people to watch online. She is an amazing cook and is redoing their really old house in Italy. She is truly a filmmaker, and her content is just amazing. Another channel that I have mentioned before, but I really enjoy their content, and that's You Can't Eat the Grass. You all need to go and follow them because they put so much effort into their videos and their produce and flowers that they grow. Such an amazing family, and I have so much respect for them. And the last one is Ramona. I'm not sure how to pronounce her channel or Instagram name. It's Monologue or Monologue. She has some beautiful videos of her English cottage garden, and I've been following her on Instagram for years now, and I'm so glad that I discovered her on YouTube as well. She just has a stunning cottage kind of style English backyard that I think you will all enjoy her videos as well. So I think I'm going to wrap this video up here. It's a little bit more of a chatty one, a little bit longer, so you know, it might not be for everyone, this kind of content, but if you have made it to the end, thank you so much for watching this video. Let's hope the rain calms down outside and I can get to filming a lot more garden content. I'm so excited to get out to the garden and start planting plants again. It's going to be amazing. If you do have any more questions, always include them in the comments, and I can definitely answer some in the live that I will have organised hopefully fairly soon. I'm really excited to chat to you all. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. Until my next one, happy gardening everyone. Bye.